The relationship between organized labor and government agencies in the United States has frequently been one filled with violence. This is especially true in the time between the late 19th century and early 20th century in the US. I will highlight just a few of these major clashes between organized labor and the government in this brief video. There were the 1877 railroad strikes, which started in West Virginia when workers went on strike to fight a cut in wages. The strike spread across the country to Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Ohio, Illinois, and elsewhere. In Philadelphia, troops killed at least 10 people. In Reading, Pennsylvania, 6 were killed. In Chicago, 18 died fighting the police, National Guard, and U.S. infantry. All told, over 100 people died and another 1,000 had been jailed nationwide. In 1886, there was the Haymarket Affair in Chicago. 1,500 workers demonstrated in the square protesting the death of a Union member by police. 200 police arrived to end the demonstration when someone threw a bomb. In the resulting chaos, more than a dozen people were dead and over 100 people had been injured. In 1892, there were the Homestead strikes in Pennsylvania against the steel plants of Andrew Carnegie. 300 Pinkerton agents were brought in to put down the strike. A fight ensued, resulting in 7 workers and 3 Pinkerton agents being killed. 8,500 National Guard troops were then brought in to end the strike. The Pullman strikes, which happened between May and July of 1894, were the first truly national strikes. They were taken by the American Railway Union, led by Eugene Debs, in support of workers at the Pullman Palace Car Company. The strike centered in Chicago, and it affected railroad traffic nationwide. The federal government ruled that the Union was violating the Sherman Antitrust Act. Some 10,000 federal troops and thousands of U.S. Marshals were sent in to get the trains moving again. The fighting resulted in up to 30 people being killed and countless more being wounded. In 1897, there was the Latimer Massacre, in which the local sheriff and his deputies opened fire on unarmed strikers, killing 19 and wounding 36 more. The sheriff and his deputies were tried for murder, but were later acquitted. In 1914, a coal strike in southern Colorado by the United Mine Workers of America ended in what came to be called the Ludlow Massacre. The strike over dangerous working conditions resulted in the workers and their families being kicked out of the company housing. The National Guard as well as private security were called in, and on April 20th the troops moved in and destroyed the community of workers, killing between 13 and 45 people, including women and children. The last confrontation between Union labor and government agencies that I will be talking about here is the Battle of Blair Mountain, the largest armed rebellion outside of the Civil War. This battle happened in 1921 in West Virginia. Some 10,000 coal workers attempted to unionize and went on strike. Some 3,000 deputies, state police, and militia were brought in to put down the strike. The result was that between 10 to 30 police were killed, between 50 to 100 miners were killed, almost 1,000 miners were arrested, and the Union was crushed. These are just some of the examples of Union labor and government agencies fighting each other in the late 19th and early 20th centuries.